Welcome, seekers of true success. I am Napoleon Hill, and today we embark on a journey that will challenge everything you believe about achievement, prosperity, and the very foundation of a meaningful life. In the next 25 minutes, you will discover the most overlooked principle in the pursuit of success, a principle so fundamental that without it, all your efforts become like building a magnificent castle on quicksand. You will learn why the wealthiest people often feel the emptiest, why brilliant minds sometimes make the worst decisions, and why putting God first is not religious sentiment, but the ultimate success strategy. We will explore 3 life-changing revelations. First, how spiritual alignment creates unshakable clarity in decision-making. Second, why your relationships and partnerships determine 90% of your success or failure. And finally, the daily practice that transforms ordinary people into extraordinary achievers while maintaining inner peace. By the end of this journey, you will understand why I discovered that true prosperity flows not from human will alone, but from aligning that will with divine purpose. Are you ready to build your life on the only foundation that never crumbles? Revelation 1, the foundation crisis, why smart people fail. Have you ever wondered why some individuals, despite their intelligence and determination, seem trapped in an endless cycle of almost success? They chase money with fervor, pursue recognition with passion, accumulate achievements like trophies, yet something fundamental remains missing. They feel empty despite their fullness, lost despite their maps. The answer lies in a truth most refuse to acknowledge. They are building on sand. The world teaches you to seek first the kingdom of achievement, but divine wisdom reveals a different order. Seek first the kingdom of God, and all these things shall be added unto you. This is not mere religious rhetoric, my friends. This is the architectural blueprint for a life that stands firm against every storm. When I spent years studying the minds of the most successful individuals, I discovered a pattern that conventional wisdom overlooks. Those who achieved lasting success, who maintained their prosperity through economic crashes and personal trials, all shared one common foundation. They recognized a power greater than themselves and aligned their ambitions with divine purpose. Consider this carefully. Your mind is indeed the most powerful tool at your disposal. Thoughts become things, as I have taught. But even the most powerful tool requires the right foundation to build upon. A hammer in the hands of a master craftsman creates beauty, but that same hammer needs a solid foundation to build anything lasting. Think of your current pursuits. Are you building your career, your relationships, your financial future on the shifting sands of human approval? Are you seeking validation from people whose own lives lack direction? Are you making decisions based on fear, comparison, or the desperate need to prove something? Here is the question that will determine your trajectory. Who or what occupies the throne of your life? Is it your ego? Your anxieties, other people's opinions, or have you surrendered that throne to the one who created you with purpose? The difference between these foundations determines whether you live in constant anxiety or unshakable peace, whether you make decisions from desperation or from clarity, whether you build something that lasts or something that crumbles at the first real test. When God occupies the first place in your life, something miraculous happens. Your priorities reorganize themselves. You stop chasing what has no lasting value. You cease begging for approval from people who cannot even approve of themselves. You begin to hear the still small voice of divine guidance above the chaos of worldly noise. This is not about becoming religious, my friends. This is about becoming aligned. This is about building your life on bedrock instead of sand. Revelation 2, the clarity revolution, when God guides your mind. The human mind, left to its own devices, becomes a battlefield of competing thoughts, conflicting desires, and paralyzing doubts. You know what you should do, but indecision keeps you frozen. You want to move forward, but fear holds you back. This is not a failure of will, it is a failure of foundation. When God occupies the center of your consciousness, chaos loses its throne and clarity begins to reign. The noise that once confused you transforms into wisdom that guides you. What seemed impossible becomes possible. What felt overwhelming becomes manageable. I called this connection to infinite intelligence, the ability to tap into a source of wisdom beyond the limitations of personal experience. But the Scriptures revealed this truth long before I wrote a single word. In all your ways acknowledge Him, and He shall direct your paths. This is practical mysticism, my friends. This is faith that walks hand in hand with action. Let me illustrate with two individuals facing identical decisions. The first person decides based on impulse, driven by fear, anxiety, or the pressure of immediate circumstances. The second person stops, prays, listens, and then acts with conviction born from divine guidance. Which of these two do you believe is better positioned for lasting prosperity? Which one do you think will make fewer costly mistakes? Which one will sleep better at night? The world teaches you to rush, but God teaches you to discern, and those who learn to discern choose better. They avoid shortcuts that lead to dead ends. They say no more often than yes, protecting their energy for what truly matters. They resist emotional, financial, and spiritual traps that ensnare the hasty. The result? Fewer mistakes, greater focus, better outcomes with less stress. But understand this crucial distinction. Divine guidance is not passive waiting. It is active listening followed by courageous action. Faith without works is dead, but works without faith are exhausting and often misdirected. Perhaps you are in a season of apparent silence right now. You pray, you seek, you try, yet everything seems motionless. Do not mistake divine silence for divine absence. Sometimes God is quiet not because He is gone, but because He is training you to listen more carefully. Silence is also an answer. Silence is preparation. Many abandon their path during these quiet seasons because they crave noise, activity, immediate results. But true wisdom often emerges in the stillest moments. When clarity comes, and it will come if you persist in seeking it, you will know. The path forward will illuminate itself. The decision will carry peace even if it requires courage. The way will open even if it demands patience. Revelation 3, the relationship revelation. Your circle determines your ceiling. Have you ever trusted someone completely, only to realize later that their influence pulled you away from your purpose rather than toward it? If so, you've experienced one of life's most expensive lessons. Wrong relationships cost more than money. They cost destiny. When God is not first in your life, you become vulnerable to choosing poorly. Wrong people, wrong opportunities, wrong paths. But when the divine occupies the center of your existence, even your connections begin to transform. You develop what the Scriptures call discernment, the ability to sense in your spirit what your eyes cannot yet see. This applies to business partnerships, friendships, romantic relationships, even the environments you frequent. I taught that you become the average of the 5 people you spend the most time with, but I also warned that these individuals directly influence your subconscious mind. Negative, jealous, impulsive, or purposeless people contaminate your thinking, sabotage your energy, and slow your spiritual and financial progress. When God comes first, you begin to feel uncomfortable around certain friendships. You start noticing when a partnership conflicts with your values. You recognize when someone's presence consistently leaves you feeling drained rather than inspired. This is not coldness. This is wisdom. Prosperity includes protection from relationships that would ultimately destroy you. The pruning process can be painful. God loves you so much that He will sometimes allow certain connections to break, even when it hurts, simply to free you from something that would damage you later. Do not fear the cutting away of what no longer serves your highest good. Not every open door is a blessing, and not every closed door is a defeat. You must learn to distinguish between divine opportunities and temptations disguised as chances for advancement. Here is a practical filter for your daily decisions. Before any significant choice, pray. After prayer, listen. After listening, observe the signs, then act with courage. If doubt remains, ask the question that resolves all confusion. Does this draw me closer to God or pull me away from Him? The answer to that question is always your answer. Remember, God will never guide you where He will not walk beside you. If you are forcing something that consistently lacks peace, stop. If you are pushing against doors that will not open despite your best efforts, pause and pray. The people who belong in your life will enhance your relationship with God, not complicate it. They will encourage your growth, not enable your weaknesses. They will speak truth in love, not merely tell you what you want to hear. Revelation 4, the Transformation Protocol, Daily Alignment with Divine Purpose. We arrive now at the most crucial understanding of our entire journey together. Success is not about what you do, it is about who walks with you while you do it. It is not merely about habits and strategies, it is about intention, alignment, and divine presence. You can develop the most productive routine imaginable. You can read every success book ever written, wake before dawn, work with intensity, apply proven strategies. But if God is not at the center of it all, these efforts become burdens rather than blessings. Eventually you will grow weary, lose direction, and taste the bitter fruit of accomplishment without fulfillment. I taught that faith is the starting point of all achievement, but today I understand something deeper. Faith must occupy the highest place in your life, because when God sits on the throne, everything else arranges itself in proper order. True success is complete. Spirit, emotion, and purpose working in harmony. Peace, clarity, aligned relationships, firm decisions, focused energy, prosperity with purpose. These are not coincidences. They are consequences of a life built upon the only foundation that endures. You have seen wealthy people with broken hearts. You have witnessed famous individuals lost in the emptiness of their souls. You have observed achievers who accumulate but find no meaning in their accumulation. This happens because success built apart from God is fragile. It cannot weather storms. It cannot satisfy the soul. It cannot provide lasting meaning. It may impress others, but it will eventually disappoint you. The most powerful habit you can cultivate is not just prayer, not just hard work, not just positive thinking. It is living with God at the center of your thoughts, your day, your goals, your decisions. Here is a practical transformation protocol that will revolutionize your daily experience. Before checking your phone or thinking about your tasks, close your eyes and pray. Lord, guide my day, align my mind. Let nothing remove me from your purpose. This simple practice changes everything, because you are not merely starting your day, you are surrendering control to the one who sees the end from the beginning. When God directs your path, even shortcuts disappear, because He shows you the right way, even when it appears longer. This daily habit of surrender builds an internal structure that protects you from hurry, comparison, greed, and illusion. You begin to understand that not everything that glitters is gold, not every opportunity comes from God, and that waiting in peace is superior to acting in anxiety. When you decide to put God first starting today, you will make fewer mistakes. You will heal more quickly from setbacks. You will grow with greater consistency. You will attract the right people. You will prosper with ease. Because God desires not just your victory, but your victory with meaning, purpose, identity, and peace. This is what separates those who merely achieve success from those who become truly transformed individuals. Revelation 5. The multiplication effect, when heaven backs your efforts. When you align your will with divine will, something supernatural occurs in the natural realm. Your efforts multiply. Your influence expands. Your impact deepens. This is not magic. This is the natural result of working in harmony with the laws that govern the universe. Think of a river flowing downstream versus upstream. The downstream journey requires less effort and achieves greater speed because it moves with the current rather than against it. When God is first in your life, you discover the current of divine favor, and your progress accelerates exponentially. But understand this clearly. Putting God first does not eliminate challenges. It transforms your relationship with them. Instead of obstacles that defeat you, challenges become classrooms that develop you. Instead of problems that overwhelm you, difficulties become opportunities that strengthen you. The individuals I studied who maintained their success through multiple decades all shared this characteristic. They had learned to see divine purpose in every circumstance, including the painful ones. They understood that God wastes nothing, not even mistakes, failures, or betrayals. When you truly surrender the first place to God, you discover that He is not interested in micromanaging your life. He is interested in partnering with you to fulfill the unique purpose for which you were created. This partnership produces results that exceed what you could accomplish through human effort alone. Your creativity increases because you tap into infinite creativity. Your problem-solving abilities expand because you access infinite wisdom. Your peace deepens because you rest in infinite love. Your courage grows because you draw from infinite strength. This is why biblical prosperity is so different from worldly prosperity. One is addition, the other is multiplication. One depends on your strength, the other draws from unlimited strength. One creates anxiety about maintaining what you've gained, the other produces confidence in the one who provides. Revelation 6, the legacy principle, building something that outlasts you. As we near the conclusion of our journey together, consider this profound truth. Everything you build without God will eventually return to dust, but what you build with God participates in eternity. The most successful people often discover too late that achievements without meaning are burdens rather than blessings. They realize that climbing the ladder of success is meaningless if the ladder is leaning against the wrong wall. When God is first, your success serves a purpose greater than yourself. Your prosperity becomes a tool for blessing others. Your influence creates positive change in the world. Your life becomes a bridge between heaven and earth, demonstrating what is possible when human potential aligns with divine purpose. This is legacy thinking. This is building something that outlasts your physical presence on earth. This is success that satisfies not just your bank account, but your soul. The question is not whether you will be successful. If you apply the principles of achievement with persistence, success is inevitable. The question is whether your success will mean anything when you reach the end of your journey. Will you look back on a life well lived, or merely a life well supplied? Will you have made a difference, or merely made money? Will you have touched souls, or just accumulated stuff? When God is first, these questions answer themselves. Your life naturally becomes a blessing to others, because blessed people become blessings. Your success naturally creates significance, because God-centered achievement always serves others. Conclusion. Your moment of decision. My friends, we have traveled together through the landscape of true success, and you now stand at a crossroads that will determine the trajectory of everything that follows. You can continue building your life on the shifting foundations of human approval, market trends, and popular opinion. You can keep chasing success as the world defines it, accumulating achievements that ultimately leave you empty. Or you can choose the path less traveled, the path of putting God first and watching as every other area of your life aligns itself with divine order. This choice cannot be made halfway. You cannot serve two masters. You cannot put God first occasionally and expect transformation. This is an all-in decision that requires complete surrender of the throne of your life. But here is what I promise you based on decades of studying human achievement and divine principles. When you truly put God first, everything else finds its proper place. Your relationships improve, your decisions become clearer, your peace increases, your prosperity has purpose, your success has significance. The life you have always dreamed of living is not found in getting more, but in aligning what you already have with divine purpose. Starting today, before you check your phone, before you review your goals, before you begin your work, close your eyes and pray. God, be the foundation of everything I build today. Guide my thoughts, direct my steps, and let nothing I do be apart from your will. This is not just prayer, my friends. This is the architecture of a transformed life. Welcome this. If this message has stirred something deep within your spirit, I want you to take action right now. In the comments below, write these powerful words. Starting today, God will be the foundation of my life. Do not underestimate the power of this written declaration. When you put your commitment into words, you activate forces in the spiritual realm that begin working on your behalf. But do not stop there. Share this video with someone who is building their life on shaky ground. Perhaps a friend who is chasing success but finding no satisfaction. Maybe a family member who has everything but peace. Possibly a colleague who is brilliant but lacks direction. Your sharing of this message could be the divine appointment they need to discover what you have discovered today. And if you are not yet part of our Napoleon Hill Mastermind Journeys community, click that subscribe button now and ring the notification bell. We do not just talk about success here. We explore the intersection of achievement and divine purpose. We build lives that matter, not just bank accounts that grow. Here is my final challenge for you, and this question will reveal everything about where you truly stand. If God examined your daily priorities, your relationships, your goals, and your decisions, would He find Himself in first place, or would He discover that you have made Him your backup plan? Your honest answer to that question determines whether today marks the beginning of your transformation or just another day of inspiration without application. The choice is yours, but the moment is now. God is not looking for perfect people to put Him first. He is looking for willing people who will surrender the throne of their lives to the only one qualified to sit there. Will you be one of them? Remember, what begins with faith always ends in victory. When you put God first, everything else aligns, and the life you were created to live finally becomes the life you are actually living. Until we meet again on this journey of divine success, keep building on the only foundation that never fails. This is Napoleon Hill, reminding you that your thoughts become things, but God-aligned thoughts become miracles.